This week on Did Y'all See, we're talking about the assault at Spring Valley, Harold Perrineau defending his daughter against critics who said she was too light for Jim and the Holograms, and Halle Berry getting rid of another man. All this and more on Did Y'all See. So, did y'all see, there was an incident at the Spring Valley High School in South Carolina. This young girl, 16 years old, was in her classroom, and there are a lot of different stories about what exactly happened, but I think the one that keeps showing up the most is that she had her cell phone out, and her teacher asked her to put it away. And she said, people said that she apologized and put it away, but he wanted to take it from her. So when she refused to give him the cell phone, he called in an administrator. The administrator asked her to leave the classroom. She refused. The teacher asked her to leave the classroom before that. Then the administrator comes in. Then they called in the school resource officer or whatever, Ben Fields. Ben Fields comes in literally like the Hulk, and he knew what he was going to do, started moving computers out of the way, put the girl in a chokehold, and then drags her across the floor. I mean, it was gruesome and barbaric. Let's just keep it real. It was disgusting. So all this happened. He was fired. And then a lot of discussion about this has been like, oh, well, she was disrespectful, and her parents should teach her to respect authority, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. So what do you guys think about this story, how it went down, and what should happen to the officer? He's been fired, but should anything else happen to him?
I feel like when it comes to like these police officers, you know, being really aggressive with people, especially black people, I feel like it just kind of speaks to the disdain that they already have for black people. Yes. Like the other day when we were talking, I compared it to like babysitting a child that you really don't want to be bothered with like that. Mm-hmm. You're going to be, I mean, sometimes when you see it, you see people, they tend to be a little more rough, their patience tends to be a little shorter. You don't want to deal with them in the first place, and your aggression is like evidence of that. I think it's disgusting, and I feel like he should be fired, and I feel like he should be prosecuted. You assaulted her.
I'm just tired of the education system treating black kids like they're criminals, you know what I mean? Like, I know, even though my high school in Brooklyn didn't have metal detectors, there was one by my house that literally the line would wrap around the block because it's 1,000 and something students, yet they have to go through 2 metal detectors, like it's the airport, you know what I mean? So I think when you already set a precedent like that in the school building, and then you have teachers who may not be familiar with that set environment, it automatically becomes like it's me versus these juvenile delinquent type students. And even if that's not the case, that's how they treat you, even if you didn't grow up in that type of home or had the circumstances to act out in such a way.
I mean, he literally walked up to her and she was dead silent. So to me, it wasn't like she was like, blah, blah, or anything like that, or like swinging on him. The minute he put his hands on her and started lifting her up, then she looked like she was trying to like
defend herself.
But then he flipped the table over, and then he flips the table over and drags her up, and the whole reaction from the classroom was kind of like, here we go again. Because they were all just so silent. You can tell that this man, like you said, is probably someone who just, you know, when you have that disdain, like you said, you're just kind of like, I don't have any patience for you. I'm not going to talk to you first. I'm not going to try to understand you. I'm not going to try to treat you like a real person. I'm going to treat you like an animal that's been thrown, you know, that's not supposed to be up in here. And I just feel like there was just a better way to go about all of that.
They knew he was finna act up because they started recording. They pulled their cell phones out because they know how he gets down, and the fact that he's still been able to be employed at this school, it speaks volumes. Like, you don't care that you have a rogue cop in the school with these students. And what's so crazy to me is, like, you know, later came out that she's just been moved into the foster care system. And so I'm like, she's going through a lot, but I'm like, whether she was going through this or not, she's still a human being, a little girl, and that she just didn't deserve any of this. And D.L. Hughley made a good point. You know, he's an interesting character, but he made a really good point saying that if this were a dog, he would be in jail. Absolutely. Or if this were, you know, if this were a black parent disciplining that same girl in that same way, her mother would be in jail, or her father would be in jail. Like, we're not allowed to discipline our own children the way we see fit, but a white police officer can do whatever he wants to a black body just because that's how it is. And it's not right. It's not right. He does absolutely need to be prosecuted because losing your job is not enough.
Right. And, sorry,
I don't think that he should be allowed to work around children
Girl,
anymore.
he is
no school.
He is imbalanced.
Sorry.
He's imbalanced. When you go into a place clearing out a way for your destruction, You
know I'm about to
crazy!
set it
You
off.
crazy! So, did y'all see that actor Harold Perrineau recently came out and was defending his daughter Aurora because she was dragged on the internet after they announced her role playing Shauna in Jim and the Holograms. So, if you know the character, you can see right there, Shauna is dark complected with Afro textured hair, and Aurora is just not. She's black, but she's not, dark skinned black with Afro textured hair. And so, when people saw the cast for the movie, they were a little disappointed that the only black girl was super light with wavy hair. If you want to see, that's not what they were expecting to see. Right? So,
Make it plain.
oh yeah, I'm just making a point. That's not what they were expecting to see. So Harold came out and defended her and was saying that, what was he saying?
He was basically saying, like, people judged her and her work in the movie without seeing what she could do. He didn't take into account the whole skin thing at all. It was basically like, if y'all want to see more dark skin or whatever kind of people you want in movies and TV, you should try to do some creating of that.
Right.
Create the things you want to see or take the roles that you feel like, represent that, whatever.
Okay. Then Aurora came out to defend herself. Well, I don't know if she was necessarily defending herself. She was doing an interview with Yahoo Style. And she was like, my parents raised me not to see color. And I was like, She was like, I don't see color. I've always moved and lived and been a black woman. And, what y'all think about that?
The whole, I don't see color thing, I don't really fuck with it because, as you guys can see, the character is a darker skinned woman with Afro textured hair and, regardless of what skin complexion you are, what type of hair texture you are, at the end of the day, as much as, we don't want to divide ourselves, at the end of the day, we have different experiences based on our skin complexion and hair textures. So I think when you're playing such a character, you can't be on some I don't see color tip because, especially for that character to break out really in the 80s and be such a popular archetype in the comic book field for black girls, it just seems like she is out of touch with what the character really represents. So the whole I don't see color thing, save that for your house. And then when you're when you're doing an interview, you should have, I think that whoever does press for her should have really schooled her on something better to say so she wouldn't sound like,
For sure, that's what the white man wants you to say.
That's
They
true.
want you to not see color.
That's true, You want to be like Don Lemon laid up under massa,
Oh!
I'm not saying she want to be let under massa, but
She doesn't want to be Don Lemon.
I'm just saying.
Disassociate.
I'm just saying. No.
Lauren's views.
I just think they made it about her specifically, and I think that's so easy to do, woe is me. I'm like, no, but it's not really about you. I don't think people should have really been attacking her, but I don't think it was really a lot of the more thoughtful questions about the choice for her as Shauna or Shayna.
Don't know, girl. It's before my time. It's a little bit before my time.
Shashana?
It's a little before my time.
Whatever, the conversations, the more thought-provoking and thoughtful ones, I think we're just questioning why, as usual, Hollywood decided to make this character, look almost exactly like every other character in Jim and the Holograms.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. It's not her, it ain't her daddy, so he don't need to come to the rescue. She's, that's not a good way to start, in the industry either, with my dad rescuing me.
How old is she?
She's 21.
Oh,
she's not like a little kid. So no. And I also agree. I think the whole concept of I don't see color is just really yeah. It's very flighting. It's not a realistic concept at all. And I think in some cases, when it comes to this whole whitewashing of characters and whatever, when you try to flip around characters to be a different color or race or whatever, and it's one thing if that is for a role for whoever, whatever character, but when the character had started off looking like this, Afro hair clearly, dark skin,
Fly as hell.
right? Now she's light skin with curly hair. And no offense to light skinned people with curly hair, biracial folk who are light skinned with curly hair. It's just kind of tired because that's all we get to see. Whether it's in movies or it's in ads and commercials and in stock images, it's like the curly light skinned girl is it. And it's like, it's nice that we're getting some representation, but it's stopping at a certain point.
Yes.
And that's what's tired. So it's not about her, it's not about Harold, it's about the lack of honest representation, even for characters that were supposed to be this.
Right.
I'm gonna tell y'all that colorblind thing tripped me up because I was like, it just grinds my gears because I think the whole colorblind thing is actually counterproductive, and I think when you have this whole everyone's the same, we're all treated the same, like no, that's how it should be, and you can raise your children to treat everyone the same, but that is not how it is in the world, and I think when you treat your children to pretend like these problems don't exist, then you end up perpetuating the system. Because I'm like, y'all just bought right into this stuff that's been going on. And for Harold, who was a darker skinned man, like you gotta know that there are not a lot of roles for people of your complexion, right? And I'm not saying your daughter, specifically a woman. I'm not saying I don't want your daughter to work. I want her to eat and work and succeed. But when you taking an opportunity from someone who is not well represented in the industry, that's hurtful. That's hurtful to the community. So I mean, it just bugs me. It just really bugs me because there are so many darker skinned black girls who don't see themselves in the movies they watch or the books they read, and that's
Exactly.
Especially kids.
Yeah.
we need that.
Yeah.
We need it. Like little dark skinned girls need to know that they're beautiful too. And this cartoon is fly.
Yeah.
Somebody would have killed that. Like she is fly as hell.
Yeah.
So did y'all see some sad news? Halle Berry and Halle filed for divorce after 2 years of marriage. They've known each other since 2010, but they got married in 2013, and now it's a wrap. So, really what makes me sadder than the actual divorce itself is the fact that people are going to be like, oh, we told you Halle was crazy. So, what do you guys think about the divorce? Were you surprised? Were you shocked? Some people said they saw it coming. What do you think?
I don't know what. I don't know who saw it coming. I didn't see it coming. I thought Halle found her Boaz. I'm just playing. Well, real talk, but I thought that this was the one. I thought she was settled. They popped up and had a surprise baby, and I thought they were good.
Yeah, surprise baby at like 46.
Yeah. So I was like, this is meant to be. But, it's life, and sometimes things don't work out. I think it's very sad. But I think she probably made the right decision for her. And I get why people try to, I don't get it. I don't think it's fair that people call her crazy, or she must be the problem, assume that she's the problem. But I guess like anybody who's constantly having conflict or constantly whatever, you look at them and you're like, oh, well, you're the common denominator in all of this, so you must be the problem. But at the same time, relationships don't work out. Yeah. People don't be out here living right. So I don't think it's you foul. So I just don't think it's fair to put that on her. But I think Halle is a grown woman.
Okay.
And at this point, she knows what she likes and what she doesn't like, and I wish her the best, and Olivier.
I think the whole crazy thing stems from bitter men who just don't like when good-looking women can dispose of them very quickly and can pick somebody up back in 5 seconds, and I really think that's what it is. Because I think when
that's real.
You know what I mean? Like when you see, it's one thing, like, some I've seen other guys say, oh, it must be Halle. She's the common denominator. Blah, blah, blah. Mad cliche. And then other people, it's like, no, you don't fucking like women be. You don't. Like, you like to do stuff with them, but you genuinely don't like women. So anybody who could dispose of you quickly, probably reminding you of some mommy issues, I don't know. But any woman that does stuff like that, it's like automatically, she's crazy, and it's like they ready to fight her, but you've never met Halle. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think it is. It really, because people are so erratic at home, like on Facebook, like thug typing, and it's like,
that's real.
you will never meet her, you will never smash homie, and that's why you mad.
That's real.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. This reminds me. I remember when Beyonce's Irreplaceable came out? We literally had a discussion at the Black Culture Center at University of Missouri, and the director of the Black Culture Center got up in front of the room and was like, "What she means? She could have another you in a minute." I mean, was visibly disturbed. Like, what does that mean? Does that mean she had somebody waiting in the wings the whole time? B was scandalous. I'm like, meanwhile, Neo wrote the song.
Right. Yeah.
Just like the paranoia, like, she been cheating on me this whole time.
That's like No Scrubs.
Yes!
It had to be a response to No Scrubs. Like, y'all couldn't just let No Scrubs be No Scrubs.
As much as y'all talk about us all the time, the minute a woman want to say something about a man, it's like, you don't need me?
But yeah, no, and that's what I was telling, my fiance. I was saying, like, it's so funny, the same people who, like, call her crazy. I'm like, if Halle came up to you today.
What?
You'd be like,
You would go.
can I holler? Can I have your number?
go.
Can I have it? Can I have it? You would be there.
You would
Can
go.
I? Can I?
Okay.
They would be down. So just, to me, I'm so sick of that because I just feel like it all goes back to, like you said, bitter men and just, just patriarchy in general. Like, it always has to be something wrong with the woman. If a woman is the one who steps up and like, actually, I'm not okay with this, and I'd like you to go. then it's like, oh, she can't keep him. I can't. No, I didn't want him. That's the difference. I asked that motherfucker to leave. There's a difference. I don't want him in my space, baby or not,
Okay?
ring or not.
And thank God that I have the means to do for myself.
For
once he's done.
myself. And that's what people continuously forget. To me, I'm always like, how do we not know Halle's not the one dismissing folks every time? How do we not know that she, after being abused in a past relationship, after watching her mother deal with drama with her father, how do we not know, and after being cheated on multiple times
By multiple men.
how do we not know that at a certain point she doesn't see something in each of these relationships? It's like, hold up.
Right.
Fool me once. But damn if you go fool me another time. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, I had a lot of respect for her to even put out a statement. Knowing people were going to go the crazy route. That says a lot to me about somebody being like, fuck what everybody thinks. This is about my happiness. And I'm not happy anymore. Yeah, sure, I might be picking the wrong dudes, but how many of you all are picking the right ones? We all out here making mistakes, trying to find the right person, trying to find love, whatever. We all end up, wherever we end up.
Girl.
But why do I have to be crazy? Why can't I just say at a certain point, this is not working for me. I don't see it changing. And I'm good on being by myself. Because trust and believe, this same woman who's about 50 years old almost will find another man. Okay? While the rest of us is still struggling out here talking about somebody's crazy. Bitch, I might be crazy, but I'll get a man before you. I'll take you, man, tomorrow. And then I'll drop him next week and leave with a baby. Do you hear me now? And leave with a baby. And they'll still be talking about me, and I'll still get another man.
Good night. Good night to you. Good night to you.
Halle Berry is asleep. I have songs written about me.
Okay.
Bitch. I have haircuts that bitches done stolen off my head.
You're trying to look
You're
like
not
me.
gon'.
You're trying to look like me, but I'm crazy. Oh. Girl.
I want to ask her for just getting butt ass naked. I can do anything out in these streets, boo-boo. So don't come for me in mines. Talking about I'm crazy.
That's the truth. Girl, at 50 years old, you ain't putting up with no more shit. You feel me? At
Okay.
50, I done got all my babies. I got a boy and a girl. I'm good.
50.
50 years old.
50 years old. I am not going to AARP with no drama. They are not going to give me my card, and I'm still going through drama. Get out.
That's it for this episode of Did Y'all See? For more videos like this one, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/MadameNoire.